So I'm pretty sure you already know how awesome Magpul's Sling lineup is. What's not awesome though is trying to figure out which one of Magpul's 8 different slings or 25 or so different accessories not only fit together, but what combo actually works best for your mission. So today we are solving that once and for all. Let's talk Magpul Slings. So if your eyes have ever glossed over looking through the entire Magpul Sling lineup, MS1, 3, or 4, the QDM works with the MS1, but not the 3, the QD works for all of them except for the RLS. It's just a mix and match a la carte worth of options. Although it's great and well thought out by Magpul, honestly, it's kind of a bit confusing to wade through. So I grabbed 6 of the 8 Magpul Slings out of our warehouse and that are currently on the market today to put sort of a no BS Magpul Sling guide to actually help you hone in on which one suits you and your rifle setup the best. Okay, so let's first start with some of Magpul's naming conventions. There are a few out there, but there's really only 3 or 4 that matter to you using for your Magpul Sling. Most of us already familiar with QD or quick disconnect, where you push the center button to lock the connection into place and then push it again to release it. Magpul took this a step further, developed their QDM, which is a heavier duty, lower profile quick disconnect with upgraded releases that you squeeze to release rather than push the center button. To be honest though, when you do see a Magpul Sling or accessory with that QDM attachment, you can expect to pay a little higher cost for that more reliable and sturdy upgrade connection, but we'll hit on that a little bit more later. If you've ever had a QD attachment fail on you, or you're a little hesitant about QD attachments, then the Magpul proprietary Paraclip might be the answer for you. The Paraclip has a metal lock with a heavy-duty polymer bracket. It clips easily onto swing swivels or metal ring-style mounts. Not only that, it has a locking feature that keeps the Paraclip closed under all kinds of environments to really drive home that reliability that this thing is not going anywhere. A couple other Magpul names or acronyms you'll run across worth knowing: the ASAP, or ambidextrous sling point attachment options or mounts. Really, it's just a metal ring for the Paraclip that can rotate freely, whether left or right and back and forth. There's also an RSA, or rail sling attachment. Basically, it's just a Picatinny mount with a sling attachment point, both in that Paraclip style and the QD style. Finally, you have M-lock attachments. Again, we all know what M-lock is for, and they come for the QD and, again, the Paraclip. So with a few of those out of the way, let's start breaking down all 8 of Magpul's current sling lineup, starting with the most basic, the RLS, or the Rifleman's Loop Sling. This guy is your no-frills standard rifle sling at the low end of the entire lineup, around 20 bucks or so. Out of the box, you can strap it straight to any standard swivel sling mount, or you can spend a few extra bucks and upgrade it with some of Magpul's attachment or mounting accessories. What you'll find though, by the time you start adding on some of these accessories, is after 1 or 2, you really start to push into the price point of all other 7 Magpul slings. So that said, who's the Rifleman Sling for? I'd say most will pick up the Rifleman Sling for their hunting rifles, more so because of the Rifleman's Loop that the sling creates when you have it all strapped in. It provides more control and stability and helps drive that buttstock deep into your shoulder before shooting. To use that Rifleman's Loop that we talked about earlier, you can just slide the sling keeper all the way towards the barrel, lock in your arm and elbow, grabbing the sling and the front of the rifle to pull it back into your shoulder. You could also slide the keeper towards your bicep to help keep your elbow from falling out. Okay, so that was sling number 1 out of the way, and from here forward, the next 7 slings operate and function the exact same way, the only difference being the way they connect to your rifle. Pretty easy. So from basic to slightly less basic, sling number 2 is the standard MS1. This is another sling without a whole bunch of frills and features, minus that really handy Magpul sling slider adjustment. Although the MS1 does have the ability to be a double or single point sling with the right accessories added on, out of the box, it can only be a 2-point sling that attaches to your sling swivels or your buttstock, just like the simple Rifleman sling we just saw. If you wanted to configure it for a single point, you would need a couple additional accessory attachments to do so, which means you're back to the same dilemma of the final cost being pretty close to the other 6 slings that already have some of these included. On to Magpul Sling number 3, the padded version of the MS1, the one we just saw. Functionality-wise, attachment-wise, it's exactly the same sling. The difference being here, you get some padding. Of course, because it's Magpul, you're not just getting padding, but you're getting padding with 0 edges because they use a single piece of material, they fill it like a sausage casing with closed-celled padding, and then they sew it all together for one continuous sling that's honestly pretty damn comfortable. As for using this one as a single point, be prepared to add on more accessories like we just talked about with the MS1 for a few more bucks. Up next is sling number 4 in the Magpul lineup. It is one of 2 of the highest cost Magpul slings at around the $75 price point. I don't have it here, but it's the MS1 QDM. Think of the last 2 slings, the MS1s that we just had, and instead on this one, it has those heavy-duty Magpul QDM or heavy-duty QD attachment points. This one's great if you already have QD attachment points on your rifle. However, unfortunately, if you wanted to make it a single point, you would need to add on accessory like the QD shackle here to convert it, and of course that comes with a little extra more cost. And with that, we're at sling number 5. It's the MS3. Yes, they skipped over MS2, but to make this stupid easy, if you took sling number 2, the standard MS1, and put the pre-installed, the Magpul Paraclips on the end of them, this is the MS3. There's a couple bonuses with your baseline MS3. One, it is now ready to go from dual point to single point out of the box by detaching the barrel and paraclip and attaching it to the large half moon attachment on the back paraclip. The second bonus to the Magpul Paraclip design for me is the locking mechanism on each clip. Again, if you've ever had a QD mount pop out on you, this is your answer to that more secure peace of mind. I do have a tip for you on these Paraclip style attachments. That is, you might want to get an end plate for the best use of the single point system, which gives your rifle better balance than being attached to the end of your buttstock. Side note, if noise discipline is a concern for you, you might want to skip these types of end plates that have a metal ring attached to them, or the ambidextrous metal ring, because it can get pretty noisy. And just like that, here we are at sling number 6. It is the MS3 again. Only difference being is it has the MS3 QD, which means one of the paraclips was swapped out with a QD push button quick release. For me, this one's actually more ideal for single point and double point use, especially if for those who have sling swivels under your barrel already, like your M&Ps, 15s, or your AR-556s. We can ditch that noise discipline issue also because of the quick disconnect on an end plate. It's kind of the popular way to do these things these days. Now all you have to do is unclip the paraclip front from under the barrel and again, attach it to the half moon clip on your QD side. All right, we're almost there. It's sling number 7 next, and around the office, it's the favorite here, not to mention the one that you guys are picking up from us the most, and that is the MS4 QD. Not only do you get standard QD attachments on the front and back, but this guy's got a little extra trick up its sleeve. Out of the box, the MS4 QD comes with the QD shackle attachment, meaning ambidextrous dual and single point setup that takes seconds to change back and forth. For about 65 bucks, it's one of the only ones in the Magpul lineup that you don't need to pick up anything extra and you could just slap it on and go. Just like that, we're at Magpul Sling number 8. That's the MS4 QDM. I don't have one here, but it's the exact same thing as the MS4 QD. The only difference being the ends, the QD ends, are now upgraded with Magpul's heavy-duty QDM attachments. It's about 10 to 15 bucks more for that upgrade, but when reliability and slightly lower profile and easier to operate button release is at the top of your decision list, that QDM MS4 is going to be the way to go for you. Earlier on, you heard me mention that there is something like 25 different Magpul slings and accessory attachments. It's true, but keep in mind that there's pretty much only 3 ways you're going to attach your sling to your rifle. Either you're strapping that webbing straight to a sling swivel or buttstock, or you're going to use a quick disconnect fitting on your handguard or end plate or buttstock, or you're going to utilize the sturdy Paraclip attachments to sling swivels or ambi swivel rings. Picking which sling attachment method is up to you in the mission that you have for your rifle and that sling. But if you want more tips and tricks and breakdowns like the one we just did today, our playlist of tips and tricks right over here is continually growing, so check it out as we fill it up.